Hello, everybody. I am getting this review out right before I head home for Easter weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend, whether or not you celebrate. Hope you guys have a great, just relaxing, food-filled, relaxing Sunday. I said relaxing twice. Don't quote me on that. Today, we are talking about Air, which is directed by Ben Affleck and written by Alex Convery. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. It stars Matt Damon as Sonny Vaccaro, who is the lead recruiting agent for Nike Basketball. Nike Basketball is not doing so well right now. Adidas is the #1 top dog along with Converse. They've got all the big stars, but Sonny Vaccaro goes to Phil Knight, who is played by Ben Affleck, and Rob Stracer, who is played by Jason Bateman, and he says, "We need Michael Jordan." Now, granted, everybody needs Michael Jordan. He seems to be the #3 draft pick on the list. He's already taken, so they're going to throw the entire just playbook at him, the entire budget at him, everything. They're taking a huge risk to try and get Michael Jordan because Sonny Vaccaro sees something in this kid that can change basketball, that can change shoes, that can change everything. He sounds a little crazy, right? And that's where I want to start with this review, is that it's hard to make a movie interesting when we already know the ending. We know Air Jordan is the biggest shoe on the planet. We know Nike is, I don't know, I'm assuming they're the #1 basketball shoe. You know, I know like Steph Curry is Under Armour. I think Damian Lillard is Adidas. Kawhi Leonard is New Balance. So like there's like other competitors now, but nothing can compete with Jordan when it comes to name recognition, brand recognition. And so it's tough to make a movie intriguing and like thrilling and like, oh my gosh, are they going to land the deal, when we already obviously know they did land the deal. But that's exactly what Air does. The script by Alex Convery, who there's a really cool article about how Ben Affleck and them like kind of came in, like changed the script, but they still gave him like sole credit. It was a really cool article. You guys should go read it. It's a really interesting way they do this because I just keep going back to the fact that we know this story. We know how it ends. Like, and I don't want to bring up bad things, but when it comes to Rogue One, that story didn't interest me because I knew how it ended and they didn't do well with the characters. Here they do really well with fleshing out all the characters. They flesh out Matt Damon's character. They flesh out Jason Bateman's character. Even a little bit of Chris Messina's character, who plays Michael Jordan's agent. Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mom, and that's like really, really pivotal role. Chris Tucker is Howard White. I just love seeing Chris Tucker back in movies again. And everything that goes into this, they toe that line so perfectly of like, oh, doing the shoe design, calling it Air Jordan, you know, like everything in reverence to Michael Jordan. They toe that line of like not going too far overboard. Alex Convery said that he wrote this script after seeing The Last Dance, the documentary on Netflix, which is a huge success. And you can really tell with some of the edits they put into this movie, with, you know, some of the lines they have where it's like, yeah, we see where this kid is going to be. We see the future of this, and the future of basketball is Jordan. But I still think they didn't go overboard with like just absolutely just worshiping the throne of Michael Jordan in 1984, when Michael Jordan, the throne didn't exist. Like, he was a really great college player, he won a national championship, but he wasn't Michael Jordan yet, obviously. And so the subtle acting that Matt and Ben do together in these scenes with Jason Bateman, with Viola Davis, it's such a great just sit down and talk movie. With one, I will say there's one too many needle drops. There's like a lot of 80s songs in this movie, and like I'm not gonna be the nitpicker of like, oh, did this come out in 1984? Was just 85? I don't really care about that. It's just like there's just too many. There's just too many 80s songs for my personal taste. A small nitpick, but it is what it is. But it's such a great story. And I know it's like a big corporation acquiring an athlete. Like, whoa, what a cool story. But they made it intriguing. They made it fun to watch. like they made it interesting in a way that I want to look more into this. Like, you know, all the post credits, like not post credits. There's no post credit scene where like Thanos shows up or anything, but like, you know, all the title cards and everything, like where they say everybody is, and it's just so cool to like Phil Knight has a line that says like, "Oh, I paid so and so $35 to come up with the Nike swoosh," and it's just like they just came up with that. These things just happen, and it's fun to watch these ideas form and come to fruition, and it felt like you were in the room with them. And that's what I love about origin story movies, you know, documentaries. You feel like you're in the room with these people. You know, good movies like Spotlight, like you felt like you were in the press room. All the President's Men, you felt like you were doing the research against Nixon. And this is another one. Granted, it's not as big as Spotlight or All the President's Men, but it's this historical moment of how things changed. And there are things that like I want to talk about, but I feel like that would be spoilers. And it's like silly to say that there are spoilers when this is in 1984 and is based on a true story. But just some of the dialogue is so good, and how they come to make these incredibly iconic logos and shoes and sayings. It was just fun to watch. And I remember driving to the theater last night. I was like, oh man, Mario's coming out. It's Friday. I'm going to the AMC Burbank. It's going to be packed. Do I even want to go? Like, can I wait till, you know, Monday or Tuesday when I get back? I was like, no, let me go. Let me just, you know, let me get out of the house. I hadn't been out of the house besides the gym. And I'm so glad I went. And the crowd, like I went to like a 10:30 showing, and the crowd was so into it. They were laughing along. They were loving all the Jordan references. It was a really, like, I'm really excited to see the next script by Alex Convery, because he even admits, you know, like Chris Tucker ad-libbed a bunch, Viola Davis ad-libbed, like everyone, these are all like longtime pros that he is writing for, so he knew they were going to ad-lib, and that's fine. But that spec script was still his, and I'm really excited to see what he does next. Like, what direction his career is going to go. Because I think it's going to go far. Because this is such a knockout. And I think I'd be very surprised if this wasn't nominated for Best Original Screenplay, honestly. With how these actors elevated the screenplay. With the story that it told, that everybody knows the end result of this story. But to still make an intriguing plotline with great characters, with great just like set pieces, with great just like intrigue, and like, oh my gosh, is Jordan gonna sign? We know he signs, but it was such a good time, and I was so pleasantly surprised by this. So highly recommend this movie, guys. It is worth seeing in theaters. Let's make this movie some money. Ben Affleck does a great job directing. There is like one scene with like Marlon Wayans and Matt Damon in the bar where like he switches from like handheld to stationary cameras, and like the rack focus is going in and out. Let me know if you guys notice this. Leave a comment if you notice this, because like that one threw me off a bit, because when you're on Matt Damon to Marlon Wayans POV, it's like a steady cam shot, and then when you change like go to the other side looking at Matt Damon, he like does like this focus back and forth, and it was a little off-putting. But other than that, I thought the directing was great. I thought Ben's acting was great as Phil Knight. I want some of those Nike jumpsuits and stuff he has from the 80s that look awesome. There's like a jog suit that he wears in there with some cool leggings. I want that outfit. I want to be Ben Affleck's Phil Knight for Halloween. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons. You guys are seeing this early on a Friday. If you guys haven't signed up for the Patreon, sign up today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.